Well, grand risings to all. What I'm doing now, guys, is just waking up with a um, good spirit. I've actually been up for a while. So I wanted to see if you guys were getting ready for your day, getting some good energy flowing, making sure you're waking up to the starlight inside of you, and kind of going from there. So this morning, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the light inside of us, making sure that we are generally being good today with our nature, sharing things and sharing not only of our spirit, but any type of fruitful things that we have that are beneficial to others, making sure that your light is shining pretty much everywhere around you. If you're walking with the light and showing it, then you will be able to draw in positive energy and positive light that is also in the area. So let's just keep that in mind. Um, right now, we are in an environment that is controlling our thoughts, our senses, the things that we are feeling. We're being manipulated by so many different things that I guess that would be strenuous to the spirit. There's decapitation of our aura by certain things we're taking in and consuming via the visual, being via the ears, being that we are consuming things through our mouth and taking them into our entire environment. Our body is the environment that you need to hold sacred and try to protect and keep it strong. So, what we need to do is make sure that we are pertaining to um, a positive environment consistently throughout the day. We want to walk in positivity. We want to stand in our ground, in ourself, centering our North Pole within and aligning our chakras to be able to exude the proper colors and energy that create the complete balance that we need to accentuate ourselves throughout this environment. So it's very important, guys, to keep that in mind. Just want to talk a little bit about some things. Took a few notes on some things that were going on yesterday. I said I wanted to talk about today. Basically, as far as information, we have to be very careful as far as the information that we're taking. Um, when I say consuming, the information is part of consuming. Basically, when it comes to information. We have to, I'm not very good with breaking down words, but just in hearing, informing the nation is information. So when informing the nation on things, we have to be particular about what we're intaking because the the information that is taken in by our waveform information, that is a light source that completes all of the senses. So there are certain senses that we intake on every second. Each second, we take in about 10 million senses. That's via the ENT, the five sensoritories that are in our system. They're intaking information each second. So the brain can only decipher a certain amount of that. So there's about 0.001% of that information that we actually consume in our brain to make or create the physical reality that we propose. So when it comes to taking in information, you have to be very astute to what's valuable and what's not. The things that will not benefit you or bring enlightenment or bring clarity, clear heart, pure spirit, things of that nature, these are the things you need to stay away from or steer away from. They're proposed on us on a day-to-day basis, so it's very hard to just steer clear of these things, obviously. But what we want to do is make sure that we try to resonate with the positive light forces and energies, and there is a balance that's needed. So there's some dark, but be very cautious as to the dark that you allow into your circumference, because these are the things that actually affect us. So when it comes to that information, informing the nation of things, information that is not actually valid, that's not true, that's not pertinent to the reality that we live in, which is the inner self. We're being applied to focus on everything that's outside of the self, that's outside of the body, that is the um, the chemical makeup of things that are false ascendants. So, keeping in mind there are so many different levels of ascension. If we are on a certain plane, we're not able to elevate to a different ascension where things may be more beneficial. Staying in a reflective line of light, it keeps you on a certain level so that you cannot take yourself and graduate basically to the next level of life. When going to that next level, there are certain dimensions that we travel through and we can vary through via the light that is inside of us, and it does carry us on a specific journey through this life. So, all depending on what you're doing is how you be able to ascend via different um, gravitational light pulls that can take you to other ascended dimensions. So, this is very important. I'm not going to get too much into that, but I want to focus a little bit about the information and intaking of the waveform that is creating your reality currently. Being melanated, it's very easy to be tapped into that particular information because the information actually allows the light to be ignited even further. You're drawing it in through not only the physical portals of the melanated skin portals, these particular cells house and holds ultralight, um, microwave, sound waves, gamma rays, and ultraviolet rays. So, in the aspect of that, the melanin holding those type of elements, you have to think of the light that can succumb it and can actually play on it or walk on it or be visited by other entities if this light source is low. It's kind of a dimming of the spirit. If you're dimming your spirit, your light source is kind of fading out because of other things that are breaking down the aura field or the torus field that is around your body. This is actually what creates a barrier to protect you from outside sources, outside entities that do not benefit you. So when it comes to the information that's informing the nation, the melanin is mailing in the information as well. It's a partaking of uh, the information via another light source. So when it comes to the light source, which we are light bodies, the light body is manipulated via different waves of frequency, depending on what's going on within your aura field. Now, when it comes to that melanin, keeping in mind that is mailing information, the information of the nation through the melanin light skin. Melanin melts and sends in forming the skin, the sky in skin. The skin is the sky in. So when you're thinking about the sky in the skin of the melanin, that is also a part of everything that is the galaxy. So you are the galaxy, the GD form galaxy, gel light in the form of the galaxy. So, when we're thinking about the divisions that are put upon us right now, currently, there are so many people that go against each other. They're always fighting, knowledge against knowledge, a bias of the ego, which is also the waveform information playing on a mental, where a person is dissecting another's thoughts and feelings, and they're taking that information in and they're portraying it in a way of egotistical values that they have examined, that they have absorbed, that they have taken in to portray in a certain way. So that manner comes off to them possibly in a different aspect. So that's very important to remember when it comes to division. So when we think about division, in division, it is individual. So we'll say I divide the you else. So individuals making everyone focus on individual and dividing the individual is inside dividing. So in divisive nature. So I conclude that as I divide UL, the L's, individual. So I divide ULs dividing, it divides the you and L. The you and L would be the you and me, the us, everything that is connected through this system that we are all part of, the light sources, so on and so forth. Um, the way that we partake or intake information, the way that we store it, the way that we actually use or harness this information is totally up to your strength in the spirit, the light source that you have, the density that you're able to um, harness and focus it on certain areas that would be beneficial. So when we're thinking about that also in I divide UL, that is also the vision of I, the division of I, the I vision, division, dividing the I. So I'm getting a lot of things out of that. I've been studying with a young man, Huey P. Nuisance, and there's another gentleman. If you guys want to follow them to maybe get a better understanding of some of the words and the spellings of some of these things, I'm going to go over that a little bit today. I'm just breaking myself into this, trying to see what comes to my spirit as far as relaying information to you guys on things that I'm thinking. There's another gentleman, Root Words. Please follow him also on YouTube. He does a lot of discerning when it comes to words, being able to break them down in the suffix of the meanings and getting a better understanding or understanding of the words and where they're derived from and how they're used, the usage in different elements that create different information in your waveform as well. So if you can follow Root Words on YouTube and also Huey P. Nuisance, Huey P. dot Nuisance, Nusense. These two gentlemen will help with the deciphering of the words. So to get back into this, we'll talk a little bit more about the division and dividing the melanin that's in the skin, the mailing in information causing divide as well. And we're thinking about that with the galaxy and the GD form, which is the God form relaxed. The God form relaxed in the galaxy is the God form relaxed in the galaxy. That is that skin, the sky within the galaxy, our skin, the melanin, and the melt that sends in information via light wave sources through so that we're connecting with that. Thinking a little bit about that, and some of the other things that we can talk about is the vision. Let's talk about television, TV programming. That's the easy one. With talking with a lot of the gentlemen on the panel, we talk a lot about the pixels and things of that nature. I'm going to get into that on another show. I'm not going to be on here too long. You guys know I'm just trying to get myself familiar with what's going on and also edifying you with any type of information that may be pertinent to your soul or enlightening to create a better life within. So just to get on TVs, we're thinking about TV programming, um, thinking about resistance, thinking about the universe, the TV programming, the universe, going back to the galaxy and the universe. We are the universe is you. The universe. The universe is you in verse. The universe is you in the verse. The verse being the word. You are the word, the truth, and the light. So the universe is you. You are the universe. Everything that is tied into that. Uh, the universe, the verse of words, the verse of all words combined, the verse of all the words in ourself. Ourself is seeing L free. The verse in us, universing with self, is seeing L free. If you converse with yourself, you will see yourself free of a lot of this um, sidebar information that's being protruded into your brain. Um, all the things that implanted, all the thoughts that are not pertinent or beneficial to anything. Um, hmm. So self seeing self free, which is the seeing L free, self CL free. That's what I get out of that. I don't want to dwell on that too long. But I do see L free in self, seeing L free, being in self, seeing self, being in self, within self, standing on yourself, within your centered self, the North Pole within yourself that aligns your chakra, that gives you the perfect alignment for clarity and for prospering the crystallization in the mind state to take you to different ascensions via light energy. Um, division is another thing, separation of us. Division is dividing, dividing, telling my vision lies, dividing is TV as well. So that goes back to the TV, the television telling lies to my vision. TV, television is telling my vision lies, television. Um, it gives you more consumption. The things that you see, hear, and think are based off of the television and the kinesis, telekinesis, chronokinesis, esokinesis. All these things are all manipulation of reality, time, space, atoms, so on and so forth. The pixels, black and white pixels with the static electricity that sends information via waveform information that travels through light frequency, light waves that actually penetrate and hit your mind, hit your melanated skin and body, absorbing through those light portals in the skin, the information and transforming that into the thoughts or creating the reality that they want to form in your mind or form into your state of being and creating a false ascended reality. So it's very important to stop believing in the television that is telling my vision lies, continuously telling my vision lies, telling me what to see, advising things to my ear to consume and what I'm hearing, and also advising things to my brain and what I'm thinking by pulling in that information. I am consuming that and processing it in my brain. And since my brain sees it and hears it and feels it, my brain takes it on as being part of reality, which it is not. That's very much manipulative in itself. On a panel last night, I was on a panel with the gentleman Huey again, and they were talking about the blue and green screen. When we brought the subject up, we were talking about the TV and things of that nature. When he brought up the blue and green screen, something came to my mind about that. When they were talking about how it lowers your frequency by tapping into you. So when thinking about that, tapping into the heart, the frequency, the green frequency, tapping into the heart vibration. So when thinking about that, tapping into the heart vibration, the television, the televised lies that are sunk into your portals via um, your waveform information that processes everything. This is another manipulative tool. So we had a discussion on that, and what we retrieved is that in the news, they're using a lot of, oh, I have one viewer. Grand day to you, Grandma. Thanks so much for joining me this morning, dear. You know, I'm getting very familiar with YouTube and just transitioning from radio to the YouTube, and going to be combining. So I definitely want to make sure that I'm sharing information. I appreciate you joining my stream, sister, and grand risings to you. You're my first live stream visitor. What a blessing. Um, So basically, I was kind of saying how we're so trapped into the blue and green screen that traps our heartstrings, pulling on our heartstrings via the signals of the vibration of our heart and our feelings. So this is why they're always talking about horrible things on the news. They're always talking about the things that are degrading to our mind, the things that pull in low frequencies, low vibrations, so on and so forth. So when we're thinking about the things that are positive, do you ever see that on the news? No, you don't. You don't see any of that on the news because they want you to stay in a low vibrational frequency place. This is why they're using the green and the blue screens because these pull on your heartstrings and the lower vibrations in your the pit of your chakra area. So lowering your vibrations, keeping you at a low frequency, using the microform information via the pixels in the TV with the telekinesis and the chronokinesis, this information is being pulled in, and therefore they're able to tap even lower into those spaces and uh, vibrate or generate certain energy levels that are negative in your body and in your mind frame and in your heartstrings and pulling on that nature and uh, getting your currency via the telekinesis portals that they use to manipulate our mind and our brain. So right now we have to remember that we're being tapped into by so many different frequencies, even the satellites. They're always talking about the satellites and the satellites in the skies. The satellites are satellites, sitting L's lights is what we kind of had the conclusion of last evening. Sat on L's lights. So sitting L's lights, trying to use the satellite system in manipulation of L's lights, the power light source inside of us using the satellites to tap into our frequencies and our energy portals via the satellites by setting on L's lights. We are L's lights, and they're trying to set or settle our lights, which is not going to happen. We're so fantastic and wonderful. We cannot be penetrated in those ways when our light is so strong. When it's overbearing, when it is powerful, when it's so much strength, when there's a lot going on, we have to recall that the light within continues to bear a stronger force, and the energy that we create within ourselves via our heart portals and bringing in proper balance of positive frequencies. These things actually generate a brighter light, creating the density that we need to create in our mindset. So we're crystallizing. Um, and creating gas in our minds that will actually take us to more of an ascended space, because this is what happens when we are going into a crystallized space that is going from the physical to the spiritual. The gas aspect all goes back to the hydro and the hydrogen and the lights, and this is all a certain area that combines in creating that spiritual pool. So when it comes to our physical, keeping that clean, making sure that everything is in a proper balance is another way to make sure that your light is resonating at its most powerful frequency. You have to think of energy. If you have those lights back in the days where you could tap it, it gets a little brighter, a little brighter, a little brighter. So you think about tapping into your melanin. As I said, the melanin is mailing in information into the skin. So mailing in information into your skin, if you're tapping that source, it's going to get brighter and brighter. If you're getting information and drawing in information or positive cleansing aspects of the spirit, then you're going to make that light a lot brighter as well by tapping into that particular area. If you're tapping into the physical area, then you're going to also create a brighter light by the resonance of things that are not supposed to be in your body, the different chemicals, the meats that pertain so much of everything that brings down not only the body's chemistry, but the spiritual chemistry, the adrenochrome that is inside of the meat from the blood of the animals that has been absorbed. And then when you're eating it, you're actually taking on that spiritual element from that animal and bringing that frequency in your body down to an even lower level. It actually opens up certain things or the amino acids in your brain when you're thinking and you're having your cognitive thinking in the flow of energy that should be proper and only sharing in light. That is all disassociated because of the amino acids. When you're taking the meat and the adrenochrome actually attacks your blood system and your bloodstream and your spirit via your body, attacking the organs as well, attaching itself to particular weak vibrational energy parts of your bodies. If your body is having a low break or this certain energy that is not being ignited, it actually starts to like die. And there's the energy in that particular vessel or organ will start to diminish. So you need to replenish those cells by creating certain energies to steer in that area. And there are certain herbs and things that actually focus on particular organs, that particular the particular cells in your body, our bloodstream, cleansing parasites from your body to actually attack organs. A lot of the parasites are morgellons. Morgellons are a type of nanoparticle. With the nanoparticle, there are two different types. The morgellons actually are parasitic fibers that attach to the skin. They actually penetrate the skin. They attack the bloodstream. In the parasitic nature, it can go and duplicate and marching up and down your bloodstream and your DNA, making changes and altering your DNA. Therefore, the dehumanization of the cells, these parasites, the morgellons. So, what we need to do is make sure we're cleansing ourselves of these things. It's very important to bathe. A lot of times, people are always showering and I'm going to get back to what I was saying, but I have to say this. When showering, that does a brief cleaning. You're not detoxing your body of certain things that you need to. You need to take a half a cup of baking soda, half a cup of Epsom salt, and do a quick soak in that. Probably about 20 minutes. You can purify your cells, taking all the toxins. The baking soda actually removes all of the toxins that are on the physical part of your cells and can draw out those antigens into the water. So that's important to bathe and detox your body as far as what's going on with cleansing and also as the inside. I'll tell you guys a few things. I do sell all of these cleansing products, all the immune building products. Sea moss, which is awesome. You can take like a half a teaspoon of the sea moss gel that I make, and if you're taking it every day, you're going to be so replenished with energy. Like seriously, I make sea moss with bladderwrack. I also do sea moss with bladderwrack and moringa. I do a sea moss with bladderwrack and passion fruit. Um, I also have a long list of every herb pretty much to attack any type of issue that you're having, specifically to organs, specifically to the systems of high blood pressure, hypertension, um, balancing the sugar, glucose in the body. I mean, really everything. Stay tuned to my channel, though. I will be giving away a lot of information, guys, on things that you can do for general detox. A lot of times people cannot afford to buy products, but they may be able to afford certain things that may not work as good as the herb, but can do the same thing beneficially. Actually, right now, I can give one. You can do a simple detox for 5 days by taking about a teaspoon of baking soda and one half a lemon. Squeeze all the lemon into it, a pure lemon, not juice. You're going to cut a lemon in half and you're going to just take that lemon and squeeze all of the juice out of it, all of it, all of it, all of it. You're going to take a fork and just, scrub it, scrub it, scrub, get all the juice you can. Then what you'll do is put a little bit of water, I'd say about maybe a half a cup. It will be strong because of the lemon acidity and as well as the baking soda. But if you do this for 5 days straight, I promise you, you will be guaranteed to detox any parasitic antigens that are in your body and detox it of any type of metallic chemicals that you may have collected in your body from certain foods or eating out or things of that nature. What I suggest is also during this time, you're not putting or consuming any type of meat. You're not consuming a lot of sugars. If you do have the need for something sweet, possibly some honey or some fruit. Other than that, you want to try to do a vegetative detox so that you're possibly doing fruit in the morning. Anything in the morning after 11 o'clock, you can start consuming a little bit of veggies. I suggest carrots, spinach, artichokes are good. You can also do, oh, I can't even think right now. Um, I love kale and spinach. I also do collard greens, turnip and mustard greens. I don't know who loves greens, but you can do that. You can also do a cabbage stew, guys. I'll give you a simple stew that you can do that you can eat the entire week. If you make one large pot, it will last you a week. You will get two large cabbage, clean them, of course. Get a bag of organic baby carrots. You would also get a bag of fresh kale, and you would use your seasoning of choice. I use rosemary, thyme, and oregano. These are all anti-inflammatory herbs that actually will help to take down or minimize any type of swelling that the body is taking on the inside from certain chemicals and things, and help to diminish that. So with this cabbage stew, this is what you do. I suggest using sea salt. I use purple and pink sea salt. The purple violet sea salt is awesome. I'll just say that it's more of the taste of iodine salt if you use the iodine salt. So violet sea salt or the pink Himalaya sea salt is good. Only use that for taste. If you're going to use anything, do not use any of these seasonings you guys get from the stores, like these mixed seasonings, the adobo, and all of that stuff. Kind of stay away from that. There's so many different things in that stuff. We won't get into that, but in that also, what you would do is take a nice one large piece of turmeric. What you're going to do is clean the skin. Just take a spoon and, just run it down the side. It'll take the skin off real easy. Rinse that off, chop it up in about 3 or 4 pieces, put it down in your stew. You're also going to take about two large pieces of ginger. You'll do the same thing. You're going to just take a spoon, take the skin off, rinse it really good, chop it up in about 3 or 4 pieces, and put those pieces as well into your stew. Let that stew, I'd say about maybe 2, 3 hours on very low. Once you chop it up, bring it to a boil, let it stew very low, because you don't want to boil all of the vitamins out. You're going to steam all of the vitamins, all the antigens, all the properties that you need to detoxify, cleanse, and remove the swelling from your body. So we don't want to boil it out. So what you're going to do is bring it to a boil. When it comes to a boil and you've dropped everything in, you'll reduce it to a steam, cover, and let it cook for about reduce it to a simmer, I'm sorry, cover and let it cook for about 2 hours. I usually cook on very, very, very low, so that it remains a little stiff, but it's definitely tender to the taste. So once you do that, you can eat off of that, once a day. I suggest once a day. A lot of people are into this breakfast, lunch, and dinner thing. This is more to diminish and lower your energy levels, lower your frequencies, lower your vibrations. You don't need that much food, guys. People eat, until they're so full they're about to bust. We do not eat to get full, guys. We're only supposed to eat to replenish the energy in our bodies. We only need to consume things to replace energy when you're feeling drained, when you're feeling down. And the herbs and things are very powerful for that. A lot of times people are obsessed with the meat because they think, oh, I need protein. I need protein. No, you can have beans. You can eat nuts. There are all type of nuts. I mean, you gotta like some kind of nuts. Nuts give proteins. Chickpeas. There are so many different things you can use for proteins. Go to my page, and I have lists. I send things out all the time. AK Randall's Natural Nature on Facebook. You guys will see a lot of the recipes. You also can find a lot of different herbs that show you which herbs are for what particular parts of energy and what's for what organs, so on and so forth. Even though I'm into the health field, I love to share and give anything that is needed. So, as I said before, guys, if you're having any type of issues, you have a health concern, you're looking or seeking to get cleansed or purification of your body, inside and out, mind, body, and soul, we want to make sure that you're doing that. And I'm here to help. So, if there's anything you need, make sure you reach out to me at Sister Soul Main Radio at Gmail. Tell me your issue in description. If you're using any type of pharmaceutical, witchcraft, drug, because I would need to know that as well. I will do a free consultation for the next 5 people that I receive emails from. And I will do a free consultation, and I will start you out with a 5-day detox, immune builder, cleanser, or cell building. I also have energy fueled um, detox tea smoothies. And my teas and smoothies are, you can use them as a tea or a smoothie. I use powder so that you're able to use it in a smoothie, or you can consume it as a tea if that's what you like. So the first 5 people that send an email for a free consultation, if with a need that is you definitely want to try a natural form and get away from these things that are not uh, they're not good for your body, basically. I'm definitely going to send that out to you. It will be free. I will only charge the shipping, but I will give free product for a 5-day cleanse, rebuild, cell rebuild, energy building, or immune system building. Also, if you need anything, if you something for like EMF emissions removal, a person that have used a lot of pharmaceuticals in the past, or if you're around computers a lot, if you're on your phone a lot, you have a lot of technology around you, it is good to remove the EMFs from your body, and make sure that you're clean from electromagnetic energies that are not positive to your body. So I do have something for that as well. So if you're interested in that, just to see how that makes you feel, you can definitely inquire about that. Just make sure that you consult with me on any issues you're having, so that anything I do send out does not conflict with something that you're using currently. All right. So what I wanted to get into, guys, was that a little bit. I do have a lot more to talk about, but right now I think I'm going to end it right here. Grandma, I appreciate you tuning in, sweetheart. Great light, dear. Blessings to you today. Have an awesome day. Walk in a beautiful spirit. And, we're going to leave it at that. I'll continue on again. We'll talk a little bit more about the light energy and the watts and the hertz, the earth, which is the hertz. Let's end it on that. The earth hertz, which is like megahertz in our bodies, and they're manipulating that through the watts and the voltage energy, the currency, the voltages and the energy that we're using and consuming in our life right now. They're blocking our resources naturally with the sun that's been casting over the entire skies, like everywhere. It's real crazy. But what's going on is they're trying to diminish our watts, our volts, our hertz via the earth atmosphere and the universe, and everything we disclose on that. All right. I appreciate you, darling. Everyone, have an awesome day. If you do tune into this, make sure you're following my page. I'd appreciate it, so that you can stay enlightened on my information. I am transitioning my information so that I'm not only broadcasting on the air, but I'd like to make sure that I'm getting this information to my YouTube family as well. I've been enlightened with a lot of information from a lot of knowledgeable gentlemen over the past month or so, and we've been sharing information with each other, and it's just been awesome. So what I want to do is continue to build on my YouTube family. Hopefully I'll have some guests on, and they'll be able to share some of the information as well on the clarity side of things that I'm not always privy to when it comes to sharing my information. I'm like all over a lot of times. You guys know that, any of my followers that tune into this, you guys know that I'm like all over. My mind's like rushing, 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 and I'm trying to get all this information out. There's just so much going and I can't get it. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I'm slowing down my pace. I'm getting a little more familiar. And when I say I'm transitioning from the air, that does not mean I'm leaving, guys. We still will have our main radio show on the main radio. Make sure you guys are tuning in Sunday and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is TheManeRadio.com, themainradio.com. Shout out to the main radio. And if you tune into this and you have been Melanated Mondays listener, you guys should be transitioned over to Sister Soul now. That is our new platform since June, I believe. And right now we're transitioning because we will be getting into TV this year. and a few other things with the platform. So there's a lot going on. The main is moving. And when doing that, I'm also transitioning what's going on with the radio onto our YouTube platform. So this being a part of my dynasty, Sister Souls Talk About It show that is part of the main radio. I just want to make sure that I'm staying inclusive with my YouTube family and all my followers we can build throughout the week and not only be focused on a time restriction of 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday and Wednesday. Even though I love it, I like having my freedom, being able to share there, being able to be freer than YouTube, because YouTube, you can only say so much. There's certain things you can say. People can flag you. They'll flag you because you're talking about this thing and that thing, which is restrictions, more restrictions on our currency, more restrictions on the value that we have to offer others. But, it's crazy. This is why I know it's very important that I stay with my focus as well, sharing information via the airways, because that can't be interrupted. And we do reach a broader audience, the UK, Britain, England, so on and so forth. So being that we're able to reach a broader audience and be able to spread the word that way, I just want to assure that we're getting the information out in so many other ways. So YouTube is fantastic. I see the growth in how the sharing of information, the platitude of just overflowed information. I love it. So I'm definitely gonna make sure that I stay and remain a part of YouTube and combining the two. So once again, guys, I know I said I was going a minute ago, but I'm definitely going now. Thanks so much for tuning in, sister. And if you guys are tuning in later, I appreciate you tuning into my stream and trying to retrieve any information. And make sure you're staying in light, positive energy today, guys. Center yourself. Speak from your heart, think from your heart, feel from your heart. Only give energy from your heart when speaking to others, when talking to others, when sharing with others. Be open minded. Make sure you keep your mind open with a broad span. When you have a broad span of open mindedness, you're able to retrieve things. And if it's a negative aspect, you know what to discern and what's for you and what's not. So just try to make sure that you're sharing light today, guys. Make sure you're sharing love, energy, a positive atmosphere for anyone that comes around you, and your aura is shining bright and showing all love. All right, it's been a pleasure, and I will hopefully get with you guys later.